What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Monday, March 28th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 9-game slate here tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I'm going to start out with a stud pick that I really like on this slate. I like Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Indiana Pacers, who have the 9th worst defense overall. They give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing point guards, and Trae Young has averaged 49.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 35% usage rate. He's projected at 51 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.7 times value. Now, I think he can score 55 fantasy points or more in this one, get you over 5 times value. He's 10,800 DraftKings salary, and he's 700 less on FanDuel. I like this pick because Vegas thinks there's going to be 235 points scored in this game. So a nice high-scoring game, and Trae Young has scored 67, 41, and 62 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 39, 33, and 39 minutes. I also like this pick because he's played pretty well versus the Pacers, scoring 64, 56, 63, 53, and 63 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Indiana Pacers. So I like Trae Young here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, another point guard that I like. I think this guy's price tag is still way too low. I like Caris LeVert from the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Orlando Magic, who have the 6th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points defending opposing point guards. Caris LeVert has averaged 30.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 30 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. He's projected at 28.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,600 DraftKings salary, 700 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 215 points scored in this game, and Caris LeVert has scored 29, 14, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 36, 23, and 16 minutes. So I like this pick because he played 36 minutes last game. So if he is going to get 30 plus minutes in this game, he's got a great chance at getting 30 fantasy points or more and getting you well over 5 times value. And he does have monster upside. So I like Caris LeVert here versus the Orlando Magic. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. This guy's still underpriced. I like Will Barton from the Denver Nuggets playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 4th worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Will Barton has averaged 29.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. He's projected at 29.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary, 200 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 232.5 points scored in this game, and Will Barton has scored 42, 36, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 35, 30, and 34 minutes. And he scored 30 and 33 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus the Hornets. So I like Will Barton here versus the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. Who is our small forward? I think it's Aaron Gordon from the Denver Nuggets playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 4th worst defense overall, give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing small forwards, also eligible at the power forward position. Aaron Gordon has averaged 27.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 27.4 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 29 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's 5,700 DraftKings salary, and he's 600 less on FanDuel. So I love that FanDuel price. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 232.5 points scored in this game, and Aaron Gordon has scored 35, 28, and 36 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 33, and 30 minutes. So he's also got a good track record here versus the Hornets. Scored 34, 39, and 39 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Hornets. So I think you could go with either Will Barton or Aaron Gordon. You could actually double up on these guys because they're both pretty low salary. They've both got 30 plus fantasy point upside, but I do prefer Aaron Gordon on FanDuel. Probably play Will Barton on DraftKings, but I like Aaron Gordon here versus the Charlotte Hornets.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on.
Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Here's a value play for you. I like Jae'Sean Tate from the Houston Rockets playing the San Antonio Spurs, who have the 7th worst defense overall. And although they've been pretty good versus opposing power forwards, Jae'Sean Tate has averaged 25.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 22.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. He's 4,100 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 236.5 points scored in this game, and Jae'Sean Tate has scored 16, 28, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 20, 22, and 22 minutes. So it is a bit concerning that his minutes have come down. So only playing 20 to 22 minutes the last 3 games, but he doesn't need much to hit value, only needs about 20 fantasy points, if that, to get you 5 times value or more. So he does have that 20 to 30 fantasy point upside, even in those limited minutes. But I understand if you're scared of those low minutes and want to look elsewhere. But I think he can get it done here tonight in a high scoring game. So I like Jae'Sean Tate
here versus the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, if you guys are interested in sports betting picks, I did some NBA picks on a new sports betting channel that I'm going to be putting out videos every once in a while. I might get into a daily routine doing that. So use the link in the description of this video to go check out Better Odds, a new sports betting channel from Draft Dashboard, where we're going to cover the top sports betting picks, money lines, point spreads, and player prop bets. So you can click the link in the description of this video, and if you could go over to that channel, throw a like on that video and subscribe to that channel, would help us out. Thanks so much. Okay, moving on to the center position. Nikola Jokic is in a good spot here versus the Charlotte Hornets, but I've given you two other Denver Nuggets picks, but he's a stud that's in a good spot here tonight. But if I'm going to go with a center here tonight, I think I would prefer to play like a Will Barton and an Aaron Gordon from the Denver Nuggets. And then at the center position, come down in salary to a guy that's got some pretty big upside himself and a lot of salary savings with this pick for a stud. I like Nikolai Vucevic from the Chicago Bulls playing the New York Knicks, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing centers. Nikolai Vucevic has averaged 41.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He's projected at 40.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's just about 5 times value. He's 8,300 DraftKings salary. He's 700 less on FanDuel. So I like that price on both sites, but I love that FanDuel price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 223.5 points scored in this game. And Nikolai Vucevic has scored 37, 40, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 35, 31, and 32 minutes. Now, this guy's got 50 plus fantasy point upside, and you're getting him at a discount here. And he does have a good track record here versus the Knicks. He scored 44, 45, 59, and 49 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the Knicks. So I like Nikolai Vucevic here versus the New York Knicks. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.